Contract affair getting paid until the day I die. Money coming in, but not one at bat, not one pitch, not one strike. Being deferred is where it's at. Deferred.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Podcast Name Deferred. I am your host, Seven. With me is my right hand, my better hand, even when he doesn't have lotion on. I've got Craig Newton with me.
Oh, God. Good evening.
Man, that one just came to me. That just came to me. That was actually probably some of the most beautiful poetry I've ever created, I think.
Tears in my eyes. Tears in my eyes.
Oh, man. How's your week been, buddy?
Been busy. Busy. How about you?
You know what? If it was any more busy, I probably would have collapsed. But I had the day off, which kind of helped. Got some stuff taken care of. You know, paid bills because they get pissy when you don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, hasn't been bad. Got the chance to watch several angles of the our lead topic for tonight, the fight down in LA last night. But yeah, no, just a good day. Watched the Sox win. Pretty sure the Giants won today too, which I thought was
They did.
nice.
Shut up.
You know, it's been a good start to the week in baseball for me, just because the Sox are, won yesterday and today against a really good Brewers squad, and things are starting to look up. Sonny Gray pitched a second straight decent game today. Greg Weissert was pitching and didn't fuck it up. So you know what? I'm in a pretty good mood to start the day. I hope it stays that way. But, we got a lot to talk about tonight. We got I know Dan's gonna be here. He's having some technical issues. He should be along shortly. We've got a lot to talk about. The speak of the devil himself.
Hi.
Hello, Satan.
Hello. Hello, understudies.
And
How's the
Dan,
work?
how about them Yankees?
Good,
How about them Yankees today?
Yeah. Ryan McMahon, our shortstop. Up in the ninth. That's who we needed. I was like, who do we need up? Who do we need up today in the ninth inning? I was like, you know what? I want Ryan McMahon to hit. When I really need a hit, I go to Ryan McMahon, our shortstop. No, that's
how big of a package are the Yankees going to need to trade for Konnor Griffin when the time comes where the Pirates decide they don't want to pay him anymore? How much do you think that cost is going to be?
Well, we got a pretty good farm system, so we'll be all right. I mean, he's got to show up first. I'm thinking Bobby Witt Jr. is our first selection.
I
Bobby
think
Jr.
you got a better chance of trading for Salvador Perez than you do for Bobby Witt Jr. at this point.
Well, of course. I mean, if the Royals are honest, they'll get rid of Salvi for a couple of shit prospects right now, probably.
I would think he's got to have a no trade at this point. I would say if he goes anywhere, it's his choice.
Because of the professional courtesy part of the whole thing. Yeah, he's not gonna. Yeah, they're not gonna be like, yeah, see you, Salvi. Thanks for all those wins. Like, don't like you anymore. Are you guys are good on the sound? Are you guys not getting any?
Yeah, I hear you.
You're all right. You're all right, buddy.
You're not getting any from the back.
No.
Okay.
I'm not a Diddy fan. I don't take it from the back, so we're good. So last night we had our first brawl of the season, if you will, between the Los Angeles Angels and the Atlanta Braves. I do have it queued up so everybody can see from the start of that pitch that preceded the brawl. I'm going to show that in just a minute. But to set the stage, last night, Mike Trout did get hit by a pitch. So there was a little irritation between the two squads, I would say. Tonight, in his first bat, or night before, Monday night, so it would have been Monday night, Mike Trout gets hit by a pitch. Last night, Jorge Soler in his first at bat. Reynaldo López obviously is the starting pitcher for the Braves last night and gives up a home run to Soler. Soler has actually, like, if you look at the numbers, like 15 for 32 or something like that, like, so Soler beats Reynaldo López up. Soler hits a home run. Next at bat gets hit by, I believe it's like a 95, 96 mile an hour fastball. Hit by pitch.
Soler did?
Reynaldo López has said, Soler got hit by the pitch. Reynaldo López has said it wasn't intentional. Braves staff is all saying it wasn't intentional. Braves pitching coach said he doesn't allow the pitchers to intentionally hit guys because you can't pitch to them. So I think that, let's say we'll take it on face value. Okay. Now we're going to start with the next at bat for Jorge Soler. And this is Lopez is still on the mound.
Last night.
Pitch goes above Soler's head. Goes wild, ends up above Soler's head. Player that was on first for the Angels steals second because of the wild pitch.
Staring him down.
Lopez and Soler are already staring each other down. They start jawing.
Lopez gonna pull the old. He pulls the. Oh, here it comes. Here you go.
Yep.
Throwing.
So, and that contact on, you can't quite see it with this angle. I couldn't find a good video that had the proper angle, but what you don't see in that angle clearly is that Reynaldo López still had the ball in his hand and was swinging and did make contact with the side of Soler's head. If it was ended up being the batting helmet between, but did make contact. This afternoon it was announced.
That Boondock Saints at him.
Yeah.
That Boondock Saints where he rolls him the cue ball. Yeah.
I mean, first of all, you don't try to out crazy a Latino in a fight. Like, just don't do that. I grew up in a neighborhood that was mostly Mexicans. Like, I'm not saying that because I'm racist or anything.
They're both Latino, though.
Right, but you still don't, like, I mean, but that's the thing is you still, like, it's too just it's level. Don't try to out crazy each other because somebody's going to end up getting snapped or something. Like Soler had a bat in his hand.
A couple of cats in the street.
What's up, Ando? I believe that is the other brother, if I remember correctly. So
there's two of them.
Yeah, Ando's got a twin.
I'm kidding. I know this.
Oh, that's right. Oh, you finished.
I'm
okay.
aware.
So it was announced this afternoon. Both are getting 7 games. They're appealing, of course. So let's say it gets knocked down to 5 apiece.
Soler homered in his first at bat today.
Oh, okay. It is the regular Ando. All right. Soler did homer in his first at bat today. I saw you posted that in the group chat. So my first question, Craig, I'll let you take this one. You got the experience with a lot of the historic brawls in MLB over the year. Is if they stick with the 7 or if it drops to 5 or something like that, is that normal for the punishment that they do in a situation like this?
Yeah, and it'll drop down to 5. I don't think that the pitcher's going to miss a start, to be honest with you. But I'm really surprised in how stupid he was to hold on to that ball, because what better way to break a wrist, fingers, knuckles than swing and make contact while holding a baseball in your throwing hand? Dumb, stupid, hot-headed. Lucky he didn't break his hand. I mean, I'm glad the other player Soler wasn't injured, but I mean, still stupid. You got to swing at somebody, swing with your wrist your fist, with your fist with nothing in it, but your fingers. Old school. Not the baseball.
I like Craig's breakdown of that. He's like, if you're gonna hit him, just hit him with your fist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's right though. Like that is, and that's true. Like he definitely put himself at risk because, like we all know, like you learn when you're learning how to hit from a cousin or a brother or something. You don't really want to have something in your hand unless it's like brass knuckles or something like that. You don't want to hit somebody with a ball in your hand because you're liable to break fingers. Like that shit we saw in Boondock Saints. Like somebody does that with a ball, like there's a chance they're breaking at least a finger or two. Like realistically.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a friend on the police force tell me that you're not supposed to hit anybody at all, but that's just a lot of backwoodsy stuff going on there, So who knows? Honestly, I bet people would shut their mouths more easily if that was still going on, wouldn't it? Wouldn't have so many people on the internet talking shit, would they?
I mean,
we can still have people face. Sorry, go ahead.
We saw Erica's daughter adjust somebody's attitude for bullying, and I don't think that kid's gonna make that mistake again. So maybe you're onto something.
I got beat by a girl in wrestling, youth wrestling, one time. I attribute that loss to the future stardom of my sports career. I was in a low place then, and she humbled me for sure. Beat me in a wrestling match.
It's not fair. Where are you going to grab? I mean, come on. Seriously.
Yeah, I was too busy trying to hide my boner, Craig. How am I supposed to? What am I doing out here? I'm an adolescent man. You can't have me wrestling on the ground with the girl. She's in a singlet. What's happening?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Even then, Tony. Even then, I loved Poon. Even then. Yeah. Jesus. Sorry. Go ahead.
And it's been beating you ever since too. Just along with it, like you just
didn't beat me in the actual wrestling match, but it's been beating me emotionally and psychologically for some time. You can blame almost the entirety of my life's fuck ups on the fact that I lost to a girl in a wrestling match, if you know what I mean. I just started to let him win eventually. You know what I mean? I just started to let him win.
Yeah. It just gets the process going a little quicker. You can just get through things more efficiently that way because you know what's going to happen.
How old were you when you're wrestling her?
Probably like 7 or 8.
Oh, jeez.
Huge, Craig. No, I'm kidding.
I think like 13 or something like that.
No. She was like she was probably like 8 or 9. I was probably like 8 or 9. So, but yeah, I did lose though. Really, that's a true story.
When I was in high school, there was a one of the guys that was in my same grade level. His growth spurt hit late, and so he was wrestling at like 110, 120, something like that, our freshman year. And he said that most of the time, if he had an opponent, it was a girl.
Yeah,
but I mean, he won state our freshman year, so
hey, you can say she prematurely ended my wrestling career, if you know what I mean.
Damn it, Dan.
I just switched to
basketball. Back on the topic here before we get in trouble. Dan, did you agree with the punishments?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a proponent of them just being able to fight, so I think that probably 0 games would have been sufficient, but I think there should be more contact in baseball. We should get home plate. Home plate should be a thing. That should be a thing still. We should be able to trample catchers at home plate.
No, I'm good. I got taken out. Like, get it granted, yes, I had a chest protector on and a catcher's mask on.
Yeah, you guys wear pads, and then you're worried about people flying home plate. Like,
right, but when I'm 120 pounds in gear, and I'm getting trucked over by a senior that weighs north of 200,
should have rethought your positioning.
I'm with you, Tony.
Yeah, no. It's nice.
Suggs, that's actually, man, Suggs, that's where we're at right now, actually. And what's up? Thank you for dropping in. It's funny you mentioned the, being allowed to fight baseball.
The ex-NFL player. He
There
tunes
was-
in.
There was a discussion that I saw earlier that I thought was interesting, that they thought there should be a penalty box in Major League Baseball like there is in hockey. And then adding in a little bit more physicality could be one of those ways to keep people interested in the game. And I was like, could you imagine, Garrett Cole gets pissed off at somebody,
Probably
he intentionally hits him, gets into a fight with him, and CB Buckner sends him out to the dugout, and he has to stay out there for 2 innings. He can't come back out and pitch, and then he can come back out and pitch if he's, if his arms still warm up enough that he can. Or a hitter gets ejected, gets sent to the penalty box, and he's got to go sit in the dugout for his next 2 at bats. And they have to bring up the person on the team who's worst at the position to play that spot for that time.
The other team
Makes
gets
an actual disadvantage. Yeah, the other team gets to pick.
They're like, we want Giancarlo to play any position on the field. Make Giancarlo play something.
We're putting Rafi Devers back at third.
We want Giancarlo at second. Actually, we're going to play Giancarlo in center. We're going to get Giancarlo to go center.
We want Anthony Volpe to pitch.
Yeah. Hey, he could probably throw an 82-mile-an-hour fastball or something like that. He's got a pretty good gun on him.
But no, I thought that was interesting. So here's the other question though with it, and this was something that I thought of and I want to get your guys' opinion. So with the way that the suspensions work, let's say it stays 7 games. Soler misses. Okay, we'll say 5. That is 1 start tops for Reynaldo López, but that is 5 games for Soler. Should they be looking at how they punish pitchers for, like, as far as suspensions are concerned, considering they don't miss games the same way a fielding position player does? Craig, what do you think?
Yes, and he won't miss a start with a 5 game. He'll be back in time to make a start. Guarantee it.
Was there ever anything, and I'm asking you this, Craig, because obviously you've been around the game a lot longer than I have. Not disrespectfully, just statement of fact.
Yeah.
Was there ever any discussion about doing it differently as far as punishing pitchers differently because of how they're paced versus a fielding position?
I never heard any circles discussing that at all. It was kind of like, let's just get it over with and move on. I never heard any general managers. I never heard any former players talk about that. It's a good question, but in my circles, that was never brought up. No.
Dan, do you think there is a better way to do it?
They actually had a penalty box when I played football in Australia. They had a football penalty box. Swear to God, like if you got a personal foul, you had to go to the penalty box. I'm going to give you guys one guess who's the first guy in the penalty box.
It was you.
Yeah. And I didn't even do anything. Just talking shit,
I'm shocked.
Got a personal foul called against me.
I'm shocked.
It was fun. No,
I don't believe that. I think you there was more to it than that.
Well, I mean, no, not. I mean, yeah, sure.
Like you threw out the Australian version of the N-word at somebody, and they were like, "Oh,
yeah, no." All I said was like they were. I got tackled onto their sideline, right? And they were all over there talking shit because they were all surrounded around me, right? Because it was their sideline, and they're over there talking shit. And I was like, why am I down here? Why the fuck am I way down here? And I was on like on the 30-yard line. I returned to kick it up to their 30 or whatever. And I was like, hey, why the fuck am I way down here? And I just started talking. And they just, there's a bunch of them. One of me. I got real like chicken in a corner kind of thing. Start throwing punches. No, I'm just kidding. No, they put me in a penalty box. So I met and then my coach showed up. The actual head coach shows up like late for the game. And I met him while I was in the penalty box. And he was like, I was like, come off the field. And he was like, that was a dumb penalty. And I was like, hey, nice to meet you. Coach Best over there. Hi, nice to meet you. It's like, I'm going to go to this penalty box here. This guy's like, hi, okay. Yeah, but yeah, no,
is there a better way to punish pitchers than giving them the same number of games that you would give a fielding player, knowing that they're missing a lot less because they don't play in every game?
I think you have to make it at least even, right? I mean, you have to, like, Jorge Soler loses actually that. It's weird, though, because not every game is really like, I think about 5 games is probably the equivalent of how much one pitcher start means, though. Do you know what I'm saying? Like this, in the grand scheme of things, because they only make the 30 some a year. So if you, that math does work out. If you do, like, they make 30 starts a year, 5 games, right? I mean, that's like, so they should probably miss 5 games. Like, they should miss 5 starts. Correct? I mean, that's
No.
I don't know that I would quite go with that.
You're correct, Craig. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're correct. I'm a little stoned. That little stoned, Craig. Sorry, I'll stick to it. No, I was kind of making that point. I was saying, like, they're not equal in games. So like 3 to 5 of Jorge Soler's games are equal to 1 start essentially. So like that's I don't hate that, honestly, because that's probably what it should be. Correct? I mean that's yeah, because like he's going to get as much. Yeah, if he has a good start, it carries on for 5 games. If he has a bad start, carries on for 5. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of my thinking behind it. Is because I understand that it's not going to be game for game because their starts mean more than that. Obviously, and they do more of the work during that fight. During their start. Yeah, you could argue.
So when and Craig, you're going to know this better than any of us would. So when a pitcher is paid, they're paid every game they're on the roster, whether they're starting or not, right? Like, it's not like, so Garrett Cole started on Monday. He got paid for that game. He's not going to start again until Saturday, so he doesn't get paid for another game until Saturday. Like, they get their pay. It's essentially, it's a per game that they're on the roster, right?
As long as they're on the 40-man roster, they're getting paid.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Every day, just or whatever, every day. Not every day, but.
So that would be the only other thing where it would make sense, because Soler's losing 5, 7, whatever it ends up being. Soler ends up losing that many games of pay. So does Reynaldo López. So I mean, that part, the financial side, that does balance out. I think the loss on the roster, the need to fill the role, I think is very different. And I don't know how you balance that part out. But financially,
towards who? Towards the batter or towards the pitcher is what you're talking about?
As far as
who's losing more?
I would honestly say that the Angels are losing more.
Yes.
Because let's say let's just say, for the argument's sake, Reynaldo López misses 1 start so that they can keep him on schedule. Just as an arbitrary thing. Let's say that's where it's at. They're only having to plan for 1 game without him. Whereas the Angels, Soler is Soler's an everyday guy for them. So that is 5 games that they have to plan without it. So, but one could argue, because Soler was the one that ran towards the mound, he is the official instigator at that point because he initiated that. And so he deserves to see more of a punishment in some regard. And so to that point, technically it is. In this case. Now, if López was the one that ran forward, then maybe you would look at giving López, trying to make sure he misses at least 2 starts versus, versus the 1. But I think it's definitely more on it's got to be more on the Angels. For how long you're without Soler versus how long the Braves are without López.
You got a guy in the field every inning that a pitcher's in the field, right? Because Jorge Soler plays right field, I'm pretty sure. Correct? So he's out there much.
He DHs some, but I think he's pretty much in the lineup every day from what I've seen. So he's either getting.
Oh, he does DH though. I think you're correct.
Yeah, he does. Hold on. No, I need to look because maybe.
I think he does. I think you're correct. But the thing is, like that. So that changes the conversation around this particular case. You know what I'm saying? This is a case to case because if the guy plays the field, I feel like it's even more. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a huge part of the game. That. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a huge defensively. That's like if he's not playing the field, and like shit.
Soler has been. He wasn't right today.
Okay.
I'm wondering.
Good looking guy, isn't he? What a baseball body on that guy. He looks like a UFC fighter.
He's gigantic.
He's
in great shape. 6'3", 235. Like
the fact that Reynaldo Lopez was just like, I think Reynaldo Lopez was he was backing up for sure, right?
Oh yeah.
Reynaldo Lopez backs up the whole time, yeah, because he gets a couple like in Soler was. Well, let's talk about who wins that fight if they let that play out.
Oh, that's Soler. I'm taking Soler on that every 10 times out of 10. Well, so Greg Weiss tackled Soler. That's when. So when in that video we watched that when the fight's going on, Soler goes to the ground. That is the Braves coach Greg Weiss, because obviously Soler used to play in Atlanta, and when he was asked about it after the game, Weiss said that he knew Soler's a big boy, and he was strong, and he wanted to make sure nobody got hurt. So Weiss knew that he needed to protect Reynaldo Lopez from Soler. Like that's the coach. Like that to me says something. But yeah, it's Soler. I think he DHs some and he plays at right field. I think they're kind of platooning that a little bit, similar to what Boston's doing, where sometimes when one of those guys is DHing or getting a day off or whatever. So, and I would assume that he fills in for Acuna some, because Acuna is still going to have load management days.
Is that the same white guy that played for Atlanta? There was a Vice in the 90s that played for Atlanta. Weiss. Is that the same one? Belgium dip, guys.
I think so. I think he played for the. I think he played for the Braves in the 90s.
I get most of my 90s roster information from the game King Griffey Jr.'s Slugfest on Nintendo 64. It was a great game, and it had. That
was a great game.
Great game, and you had the Griffey cheat where you could go start left, right, left, or whatever, and he would like point towards the stands like do the Babe Ruth, and then everything you hit, if you hit it, it was a home run, and that was the cheat code that you could do. So as no Griffey, because he was that good at that point. But yeah, that's the Weiss guy. I think he played second base.
Something like that. He played. Brandon, if you're still in the chat, if you could confirm it, I'm pretty sure that he played for.
Can you look that up? Can you look that up, please? Thank you.
All right, so yeah, that was interesting. I mean, and a brawl can really get a team going. Does either team come out of this a little bit more momentum? I think obviously the Braves won yesterday, the Braves won today, and today's win was 8-2. I mean, does either team come out of this a little bit more unified? Because a brawl brings a team together. So, like, what do you think comes out of it?
So looking a little bit further into it, I mean, obviously the Braves are talented. Obviously the Braves have a World Series roster probably at this point. Have you watched? I mean, so if you watch the Braves play, try to keep the green screen setting off on your TV if you have one, because they will literally make it go into a panic with Ronald Acuna wears the most neon green I've ever seen a player wear in my life. He looks like you could change his whole body while he's running into like a different thing. Like it'd be like he's a dragon or something. No, like he's trying to do it. It's weird, but no, they're a World Series roster. Like I love Ozzy Albies, and like Albies is like the weirdest guy ever because like he's like the switch hitting second baseman. It's like he's just a fucking unicorn. Like they have a bunch of them. Like the Austin Riley's a stud. Then obviously the pitching, Spencer Strider, he's my boy. Hell of a fucking mustache on that guy.
Tree trunks for thighs too.
Yeah, just does not skip leg day. Just probably second best ass in baseball. Behind of course Giancarlo Stanton, number 27.
Yeah,
has the greatest ass in baseball history. Just throwing it out there. And Craig knows this because Craig voted for the 1983 best ass in baseball San Francisco Chronicles. He was I'm in there, Craig. I read the article. He was all into it. You know exactly what I'm talking about right now. Hey, and it's not gay, Craig, okay? It's not gay. It's the study of a man's body as a baseball player that should really be looked more into, because the guys with the great asses, let's just talk about him. Cal Raleigh, great ass. AL MVP finalist, okay? Aaron Judge, fantastic ass. AL MVP. Giancarlo Stanton, former NL MVP, greatest ass in history of baseball. Gonna hit 5.
You know how many asses I saw in a locker room from
Oh, I know.
1994 to 2002?
That's why I'm telling you, because I know that you know. If anybody knows, Craig, it's you. And I think that, yes, I would actually like second me on the Giancarlo thing. I'm just kidding. No, but Ozzy Albies, also great ass. No, play second base. But the Braves are World Series roster for sure. But like, what does it do for
Craig saw more ass in those locker rooms than Diana Rossini sees on a weekend out with Mike Vrabel.
I've got stories to tell you off the show about covering the Raiders, back in the day. One player, Charles Filia. I'll fill you in on him after the show.
Wait, Charles Tillman?
No, Charles Filia.
Filia. Okay, sorry, I didn't see that part. Okay, I'm looking forward. I'm making a note of that. I want to hear about this. Okay.
Hey, Tony, you know what it is. Dude probably had a dick on him, looked like a fucking he was socked with wet sand.
Chris Jones. He was Chris Jones before Chris Jones was Chris Jones.
Oh, my dick came out. Yeah.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Chris Jones is the only NFL player to get a sack at the NFL Combine. Sorry, I saw that joke earlier and it almost broke me. Okay. Konnor Griffin signed a 9-year, $140 million deal as the future shortstop for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Did get called up. I think it was right after the first series. They didn't have him on the roster on opening day, which I think was more about stuff for service time and things like that. But they did call him up within a couple of days of starting. And it was said last week that they were looking at a deal for him. Like it was close. The deal was close for him. And then he ended up signing it. It became official today. Since he came up he's played in 6 games since he came up. He's got 3 hits, hasn't hit his first home run yet.
He's already played a game?
He's been in 6 games.
What's he hitting? Sorry, I missed that.
167, which as a 19-year-old Major League Baseball, I'm okay with it. He's getting his feet wet.
Yeah.
I don't think he's even played more than a handful of AAA games. Like,
it's a hard game.
It is. And especially when you think about the list of talent that the Pirates have opened their season to. Like,
true or false, Craig? Baseball is probably the hardest hand-eye sport that exists.
Yes.
Yes. Probably, it almost has to be. There's no I don't know. It's just a weird, it's almost like juggling, but it's at 100 miles an hour. That's what I can describe it. It's what are we doing? How the fuck do you guys even do? I don't know how it's possible sometimes. I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about?
With pinpoint accuracy.
Yep.
Within inches. And the ABS system has shown it to me even more now. I'm just ABS shit. I'm like, dude, what in the fuck? A 0.1 inch, and this dude called it correct. And I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing, I guess. Wow.
Well, I mean, you think about it, that's how accurate the system is, though. It's even more than that. Is 1/16 of an inch accuracy is how accurate the ABS system is. Which to me, it shows me I have gained respect for the good umpires.
Yes.
I have more of an appreciation for them. Now, me personally, I also think that they should take CB Buckner out of rotation behind the plate. Not just because when he's in the full umpire gear, he looks like an actual human fucking turtle, but because even with the support of the ABS challenge system, he's still just a dog shit umpire.
It's C. Bonatello or whatever. He's a fucking Ninja Turtle.
For me, it's with Buckner, it's a different thing. It's just because he's been as bad as Angel Hernandez was for a while. Like he had that reputation. It was just social media picked on the white umpire, the not black umpire, because I know Angel's like Hispanic, I guess. I don't know.
He's definitely his name's Angel.
But like they picked on the non-black umpire first, and now he's gone. CB Buckner, actually, I'm pretty sure he was going for longer. He's been going for longer because he's in like 25, 26 years. And now the focus is all on him. And the number of people that didn't know that it wasn't just Angel Hernandez. Like there are a couple of umpires that are getting exposed right now.
I have a theory on this, Tony, and it's only the dudes that have been around for a long time. Okay, look at every dude. Okay, so it's only been, and I'm not. Has nothing to do with their age or their side or anything. I'm sure these guys are fucking tip top for real. Like they're usually very like intelligent dudes, and they're, you know what I'm saying, like they're very on it. Like they're still very fucking with it and shit. Nothing against that. The older guys just are from an era where when they were wrong, it didn't matter because they were the fucking umpire and they just called it. And it was like, hey, I called it, right? And like, they didn't have somebody going back over their work with a fine tooth comb because, and you know what I'm saying? Like they could make mistakes and it wouldn't matter because they can technically be like, yeah, nope, it was there. Like they didn't have everything on instant replay, like fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like that. It wasn't like this micromanaged as far as like the umpiring goes. And like now that they're being literally judged to within, like you said, 16th of an inch precision, like it becomes every single decision they make can literally be proven basically, right? And then it's like, then it's like, oh, I was wrong and now I have to stay wrong, which like sucks for them because they have no basis in the argument then, you know what I'm saying? Like they're just like, oh, fuck, I guess I suck. Like that's the whole, you know.
Think about this though. The players have been under that same scrutiny for a long time.
Oh, I'm not holding one of these for fucking umpires at all, but I'm just saying.
And so, like for me, when I look at that, it's a case of the playing field is simply level in that regard now, and it's, you know, because if Garrett Cole misses a couple of pitches throughout the course of a game, and those are the ones that are against that yard, he's going to hear about that for the next week. CB Buckner doesn't call a game correctly, he's going to hear about it for the next week. It's all part of the product.
In the fucking pitch clock has made it like the pitch clock was a good Rob Manfred decision, and that's one of the only times you'll be able to hear that phrase being uttered on this show. Was a good Rob Manfred decision because it really was like, it adds like an almost like arcade like quickness to the game that wasn't there before. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no like a dude walking around the mound like, this is fucking boring. Like what the fuck's this guy doing? Like I was never really like that, but like I understand how that was a thing. When you got games going 4.5 hours, like I understand it's a whole fucking marathon. It's a whole thing. Like, yeah, we need to speed it up a little bit. But like, yeah, as far as I don't know if I like the fucking new with the umpire shit, dude. With everything being so precise and stuff, it's like, what are we doing? Like, I don't like them coming off the base and stuff and getting tagged out for, you know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like it's too many replays, too much slow motion. Like, I don't know. Do you agree with me on that at all, Craig? I don't know.
No, I like it. Sorry. I like it.
You like the new. So like, do you know what I'm talking about as far as like the them getting tagged out off the base though?
I don't like that. No, I don't like. Yeah, I don't like that. But I mean, I like the fact that the game is speeded up. I like that.
Yeah, me too. No, 100% on the speeding up. That's a good Manfred decision. But like the micromanaging of the actual like every inch of like in the super slow-mo like fucking replays where the dude just comes off the bag a little bit and he gets tagged out because he was there clearly there though, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then just comes, I don't know. I feel like there's some weird decisions of it. It is good though.
So
it's better.
I see what you're saying. And like to a point I get it. But the way the game has been played for a while, if you're sliding into a base and you come off the bag and the umpire sees it, you will be called out. Like that part has not changed. It's just more visible now.
Right. But sometimes it's not. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when the dude's hands gets there first. And
right. There's some of those where it's like just barely you can
his body comes off of it. Yeah. And it's like, oh, there's just like a little bit. Like obviously that's a safe call, right? In every facet of the game down to when you're in Little League, that's a safe call, right? And then like they look at it slow-mo and it's like, oh, his body came off of it a little bit for a second, and then that's he still had him tagged or whatever, and you're out. Like come on, like that guy's safe. Like I don't know, this is me.
That's the hard part about that is you've got to be able to, because if you're the team that's on the receiving end of that, if they can get that out call, you've got to be able to check it and get it really quick. Like it's got to be something where you're already saying, hey, hold on, we're going to check this real quick.
Yeah.
And decide if they're going to challenge it. And you've only got a split second to make that. So unless there is, you've got to have something clear and quick. That's something that to know for sure, because a lot of those are going to end up going by the wayside because of that. Sure, after the fact, ESPN's going to catch it. MLB Network's going to catch it. We're going to see it on John Boy. But the ones where it gets caught that he was off the base this far, that's unless it was something where it happened exactly in the line of view of one of the coaches where they can go, oh, hey, we got to check that. We got to check that.
Right.
Those aren't going to come up as much.
Sometimes, yeah, because you're right. Because I haven't really seen that many of those plays, I guess. So I might be nitpicking a little bit on it for sure. But also that, like, you could also argue like slide feet first. Then you're always on. You know what I'm saying? Then you stop yourself on the bag. You know what I'm saying? For real, like slide feet first, and then you would stop yourself on the bag, and you're always on it. You wouldn't come off of it at all anyway. So I mean.
Wilson Contreras slid in feet first to second yesterday against the Brewers after he had gotten hit by a pitch in the game and ended up tearing up David Hamilton's pants. He had to get new pants on. Yes. Well, David. So Wilson Contreras has been hit like 24 times by the Brewers.
Yeah, because he used to play for him and shit. They don't like it.
No, because he used to play for the Cardinals.
Oh, okay.
He was on the Cardinals. Yeah, like he's played against the Brewers so many times because they were always a division team for him. And that's also, I think that's the lead for one team against a single player for active players in the league. So when he takes a hit by a pitch, like he gets pissed off. But I think that he went a little bit more of the old school baseball way, where I feel like something dirty happened to me, so I'm going to share the love.
Yeah, for sure. That's competitive nature. For sure.
It is.
Yeah. Just like sliding head first, ironically, is part of a competitive nature. There's a ruthlessness. There's a ruthlessness and a give all for your team to it that like is different than sliding feet first. It's almost there's glory in the face first. I'm going to sacrifice my body because I'm going head first into it. Like, 100% effort kind of thing. There's something, obviously Pete Rose was like the dude who was coined it, correct? And he was the guy who was beloved for fucking playing as hard as he could. Right. I mean, that's kind of the thing, I think.
We used to never see that many guys with sliding mitts on. And now every guy, when they get to first, they put that sliding mitt on to go around the rest of the bases because the focus is head first. So I get what you're saying.
Is it the better way to slide? Probably sometimes.
All right. Let's get back on topic. Konnor Griffin, do you guys agree with the decision to extend him now?
No.
Why not?
He's not proven. Not proven. He's a kid. What's he done? I mean, he hasn't done anything yet. So, to throw the money out there already? No.
It's a gamble for sure.
It is. Like Boston got burned. Boston signed Christian Campbell on an extension last year that was like $90 million extension, I think, if I remember correctly. And he got sent down a month later and didn't even make the 26-man roster this year. And Boston's actually was trying to figure out what they were going to do with their infield. And they've also been trying him out in the outfield and a couple of other spots. And he can't seem to get settled in to a role that's actually going to benefit him. So you're right. In that regard, yes, Craig, it is definitely a gamble.
He's not as much.
He's not as much of a gamble as Christian Campbell. That is correct. And if you have an elite shortstop that you're paying an average of $15 million a year, that's obviously the win in the gamble, right? Is that if he does turn out to be who they think he's going to be, they are who we thought they were. We're gonna Jackson Holiday is another example of it. Yeah, he took some time to come into his own. He's doing better now, but he started rough. I think Jackson was a slightly different case though, because
He's still young.
I think part of the reason with that Jackson got called up earlier than he should have the first time was because of who his dad is.
Yeah, for sure. And I guarantee.
Whereas,
yeah,
like with Christian Campbell, like he had kind of earned his way because he had a really good spring training last year, and I think the Sox kind of pulled the trigger a little bit too quick because once he fell out of that, because he had a lot of success in April, and then in May he just completely dropped off, and it didn't make any sense. So I get what Craig's saying on this one, because that's still a risk, and you could end up having to pay $140 million to a kid that doesn't do anything for the organization.
The contract should be paid off of what he did, not what he might do. I mean, he's got to pay his dues. I mean, if I'm a veteran and I put my years in, and this kid is, 6 games in, he gets this huge contract, then I'm not really happy about that. This idea of, well, hey, good for the kid, hey, it's good for baseball. No, if I'm a veteran, I'm pissed. That's just, he hasn't proven anything yet. He hasn't made an all-star team yet. I mean, they have him under contract for what? How many years before this extension? How many years? At least 3.
Rookie deal is because he was a high draft pick, so I would say he was probably on a 5-year deal plus the arbitration years, or at least 3 in the majors before he gets into arbitration years, probably. So 5, yeah.
Yeah, three majors to get 5, yeah. So they had plenty of time to sign him to a rewarding contract, but just to throw the money out there, yeah, that's foolish.
We talked about Konnor Griffin a month ago on the show, I think, didn't we?
Yeah, because there was if he had been on the opening day roster and got a hit, he would have been the youngest kid to ever get a hit on opening day on a Major League Baseball roster. He ended up being like the 2nd or 3rd youngest based on when he got his first hit. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. One of the arguments that I saw about it was that with the fact, expecting that there's going to be a salary cap coming through with the next CBA, these contracts that are getting done now are going to have some type of a grandfathered rate with less of a impact on the contract or on the cap than the deals that are signed afterward. But you could at least wait until September.
Yeah.
You can still get it done before the CBA expires so that it's going to be grandfathered in.
Exactly.
So that you know more about how he's going to respond. So you don't have a situation like Christian Campbell.
Yep.
Foolish. But again, like you said, it's a gamble because again, if he draws, do what?
They didn't give the Red Sox didn't give Christian Campbell $140 million, did they?
It was like 90.
Oh boy, okay.
90 something. Hold on, let me.
No, that makes sense because if it does, that's all about the gamble though. Because if the gamble pays off, then you have prime Konnor Griffin at 24 years old on what, $9 million a year or something like that. So
okay, I'm sorry. It was only so the deal with Christian Campbell was an 8-year, $60 million extension. So it wasn't even that much. So I thought it was a higher value, but that's still a $60 million risk that doesn't look like it's going to pan out.
That's just the nature of the game.
Unless he ends up with like the Rockies or the A's or the White Sox or something where he's going to have time to suck and get his feet out from under him on the major league level by a team that doesn't have a more win now mentality, like, the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Braves, Dodgers, whatever. That may end up being what it takes for him to actually pop up, but any team that looks at a trade involving him sees that $60 million contract for an unproven kid.
Right, and that most of which they're going to have to take on. Right?
Nope, I wouldn't.
Well,
if Boston's trading him, they're sending money for that contract.
Right.
Yeah.
It's almost a guarantee. And I would say probably a large portion of it.
Yeah.
And that's
so
again.
So you guys are going to make up the difference.
Yeah.
This is what we would have paid him. You guys overpaid him a little bit. This is what we would have paid him, and you guys are going to make up the difference for it.
Yeah,
Brandon
exactly.
Brandon asked for the A's saving money until they move to Vegas. Yes.
Something like that.
They're always saving money for something. They want to make sure they have it to put in the slot machines that are going to be inside the stadium so they can hopefully win some of that money.
The New York Yankees and Ryan McMahon lost to a team that does not have a city in front of its name.
Hey, they are doing special. They to the A's credit, they did backtrack on something. They released this year. They will have an alternate uniform that says Sacramento on it. So they have an alternate city.
Sacramento Athletics.
Catchy.
That doesn't sound depressing in like a AA club at all.
It's still so disrespectful to the city of Oakland. Like,
it's not even motherfucking Fresno. Yeah, no shit. The fuck? Sacramento Athletics, bro. Hey, they're back in town. The Athletics, bud. They're coming for you. I bet they have a beautiful stadium. I bet it's in the middle of nowhere. 12,000 seats. What do you think? 12,000? 10,000? 10,000.
I think it's like 11.5 was the number I saw. So you're right.
Guaranteed there's no outfield fountains or anything. I'm gonna guess.
No.
I'm gonna guess it's mostly parking lot.
I think they had to do remodel. They had to do a remodel in the off season so that there were bathrooms in the dugout.
The Rays have a better stadium than the A's do.
Hey, they are back in the Trop now. Well, no, because the Rays are back in the Trop now. The roof is done.
What? Is that place safe? Like what?
Yes, they $66 million in repairs and upgrades to the Trop. They won their debut, their first homestand. They're back in the Trop this season.
They should have spent that $60 million on what they did to the Twin Towers and just demolished those things. Controlled.
Oh my god!
Demolish that fucking thing is what they should have. That $66 million. Blown that thing into another, and then just. Why are you guys in a dome? You're in Tampa, Florida. For real? Why are they in a dome? Is that? To me, answer that question.
The tad humid.
It's the humidity and the fact that you get pop-up rainstorms every day in Florida.
So it's just like, why not? Okay, so like it's just like it's raining all the time. It's kind of a swampy area. I get it.
Yep.
But they should have demolished that place. All in.
I still think the Rays would do better in Orlando than they do in Tampa.
They looked really good in the Yankees AAA stadium.
I bet you think they did.
Where we like them as our AAA squad, just developing our players on a major league level. I like it. I love it. It's great. It gets us a good look at our pitchers for the future and keep 2 rosters. It's nice.
All right. So as we wrap up tonight, I had sent you guys both an article. There was an article that was posted on ESPN yesterday about one of the things that's going to come up in the next CBA negotiations is an international draft. And one of the things that was talked about in this article is this family who lost their young teen child because he was going to one of the academies, the international academies that are down there in the Dominican Republic. And they found out that they had been shooting him up full of anabolic steroids. And he had come home. He said he was never going back to the clinic. He was really sick. He woke up the next day. He was jaundiced. They took him to the hospital. 2 days later, he's in a medically induced coma. And then he ends up passing away. There is a lot of discussion around alleged like backdoor deals, having to pay off street agents to get access to kids. They're not supposed to sign until they're 16, but they're doing handshake deals, backdoor handshake deals as young as like 11, 12, 13, that they're going to sign these kids as soon as they're old enough. And a lot of allegations at these academies. So is the international draft in a league-run program in the Dominican Republic, is that the answer to solve problems like this?
Yes.
Why do you say that?
Well, it's gonna eliminate the backdoor sleaze of the I call them peddlers. I mean, that are preying on kids as young as 12 years old, to get their parents to go into debt to bring them into an academy, and then they're in debt. So now, like the article said, then they got to pay loan sharks on an advance based on what the kid's possible salary could be if they ever get signed. It's just sleaze all over the place. You have the draft that eliminates the so-called sleaze middlemen and makes it more legit. And why the heck we're not hearing more about this from Major League Baseball, and especially our esteemed commissioner? It just reeks. It just absolutely reeks.
Because
it was a great article.
It was a very well written article, and for those of you that want to go check it out, if you go onto the ESPN's page, it's on the MLB section. The article is called "Broken System is an International Draft Next." I'll see if I can put the link in the description after the fact. I'll post it on the Podcast Name Deferred Facebook page. It's a very well written article, and so the question becomes: okay, we instituted an international draft. How does the MLB deal with the expense of the program? You know, at the academies, how do they pick who's going to be running it? Is each team just going to be sending guys down there to run it, and you can't say what team you're with? You can't do anything, but you can relay back to your teams, hey, look at this guy. You can do the scouting stuff. You just have to help run the program, and you can't say shit about who you're with. Like, how do they regulate that so that they can still have the program? Because the Dominican Republic and Venezuela provide the most non-U.S. talent in Major League Baseball.
You're asking a good question. You're asking a good question because, I mean, you've got teams. You have the Dodgers are down there. You got the Giants are down there. I'm not sure they're.
Fact.
Yeah, so they already have their academies going, so they are contributing. Not in an overt, not an overt way, but they're by their very existence and the carrot that they put out there, you know, for a lot of money that could be in a kid's future. Major League Baseball is responsible for part of this problem. And then, you know, again, how are they going to handle a draft when you got if I'm the Giants and I'm putting millions of dollars into this system, and now there's going to be a draft, and I'm not guaranteed that the players that I've got in my academy are going to be on my team. Yeah, that's going to be a hard pill to swallow too, but you got to protect these kids. And the only way to do that is to get rid of the sleaze by having an international draft. It's a mess.
It is. And the Players Union has said that they are against it, that the league just needs to enforce the rules that they have in place now, which we've seen that kind of strategy work with certain things like the sticky substance rules. Like, that solved a lot of that problem simply by enforcing what they were doing and just adding an actual check to reinforce the rule that's been on the books for several decades. So I would not be surprised if there is at least some truth to that. But the other side of it is you've got to protect those kids.
Yep.
And
their families too, because they as soon as they make this agreement, they're already in debt for how many years? I mean, you know, for loan sharks and everything. It's terrible.
I think, first of all, one of the easier things that you can do that takes the pressure off of families, if you have a league-run system, is the kids are scouted and recruited to the program by guys that are down there, but there's no cost to the families. I think the league can, if we're going to go, because if there's an international draft, these academies are all going to be league funded, but all of the teams are going to be contributing. So you'll have Japanese kids in the academies, you'll have Chinese kids in the academies, Korean kids in the academies, and then, of course, all of the Latin countries, whatever. And then, but you're not making that family spend, X number of dollars per year for their kid to go to the academy. No, your kid has a slot. They have to keep developing to keep it. But we'll make sure not only are they getting a proper education, but they're getting a safe environment to develop their athletic abilities so that they can when they're eligible for the international draft, they can participate. Like, because, I mean, ultimately, the expense on that's not going to be huge. Comparatively, because you've got more control over the situation, more control over where the money's going. And then at the end of the day, the kids are safer. The league is able to control what is going in, as far as we're not letting guys just walk in. We're not letting guys go in and shoot these kids up. I definitely think it's reasonable that there should be expectations for blood tests and stuff like that. I don't need a 12-year-old kid that looks 16 and testing positive for anabolic steroids being in the international draft. No.
Also, if you guys were smart at all, they would understand that steroids really don't work that well unless you're like 22 to like 27. You have to be more in like your athletic prime. Like, it's not gonna like do that much when you're like, you already have so much testosterone going through your fucking system at that point. Like, not gonna do that much. Like, if anything, you're gonna fucking fuck those kids up. You're gonna make them too big. They're fucking too big for their fucking joints. Yeah, they're gonna get jaundice. That's from a fucking dirty needle. That's some crazy shit. And that's literally from, they're just down there fucking shooting. They're just like reuse. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no like actual medical standards to this shooting up of anabolic steroids either, which is why that kid died for sure. But yeah, it shouldn't be happening in the first place. But that's why that kid died, because they did it unsafely, obviously, right? I mean, yeah,
and that's why you have to establish the standards. And I think that for me, like, the MLBPA has to understand that unless they have a solution other than enforce the rules that are in place now that can protect these kids, you've got to get behind it, because it's not like the only ones that's going to impact are the 20-year-old players that are coming from Japan that are already adults and can advocate for themselves. We've got a 12-year-old kid that thinks that if he doesn't succeed here, his family's going to be in debt for the rest of his life. So I think that the leverage and pressure are completely different for a Japanese player wanting to come to the U.S. versus what they're doing to these kids in the Dominican Republic and Venezuela. And so I think that they have to come away with the CBA with some protections for these kids in some way.
For sure.
Yep.
Like, there has to be improvement, at least in some fashion. If, there's more penalties for the teams, to find some way to disincentivize the ability to sign these international players, or to the disincentivize bad environments and backstreet deals when trying to sign these players on international contracts. And, you've got to find a way to do it and keep the kids safe. That has to be the ultimate goal for everybody.
Well, fellas, sounds like there's a little bit of money to be made in the Dominican Republic. I'll be right back. Look at you learn Spanish, huh, Craig?
See.
I see what you did there.
I didn't do that. Craig did that. I just said,
all right.
see.
A few quick injury and updates injury piece of information before we wrap up tonight. Cubs' Cade Horton is out for the season. He is getting elbow surgery. It's his UCL. They don't know if it's going to be the internal brace or TJ until they go in. But the Cubs did say yesterday that he is done for the year. And either way, you're probably not going to see him until close to June, July, maybe closer to the break next year, is when we'll actually get to see Cade Horton pitch again.
That's too bad.
Alejandro Kirk is out 6 to 8. He had to get surgery on one of the fingers on his left hand after it got injured because of a foul tip that hit his finger. So, congratulations to the Toronto Blue Jays kitchen staff on getting a fucking break for a change.
Kicking the guy when he's down, Tony.
Listen.
Even if he is fat.
There are the two biggest lies on the internet are that there are hot singles in my area and that Alejandro Kirk only weighs 245 fucking pounds.
I love that.
There is no way that's true because
he's 3.5.
He's an inch taller than me. And if he weighs the same amount that I do, but looks like
he's in there somewhere. Yeah.
He has a fucking air filling spout somewhere on his body. He's in a human inflatable.
You guys got
there is no way. No way. Okay.
Horse
all right, before we wrap up, Suggs asked, what's Seattle's issue? They were just up, 2 years ago, and they have just fell apart, it seems. Seattle has struggles with consistency, but I think it's rough start to the year.
This furthers our fairway talk into why Cal Raleigh is not having as good a year. Let's be honest.
He did finally get his first home run.
He's not shooting juice into those big old booties of his. Big old butt cheeks. Not shooting juice into those things.
He's definitely not juicing. That is for sure.
Yeah.
I think that the Mariners are off to a slow start.
They'll be all right.
I mean, they're not like their issue right now, crazy enough, their issue is actually their pitching more than their hitting. Because
they're hitting bad.
I mean, when you look at that rotation, it's crazy to think that. But even though they're the last in their division, their run differential is only -2. Like, they're scoring runs. They're just not stopping the scoring of runs.
Need I mention, Tony, they ran into the Bronx Buzzsaws. They ran into the Bronx Buzzsaws at the very beginning of the year. It's the Bronx Bone Saws.
Bone Saw.
Yeah.
Was that the first?
Yeah.
It was the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, right?
Yeah. But it's Macho Man. Boom. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. He's like, ooh, yeah.
So the series that the series that the Mariners have had to start the season was they did a 4-game set against the Guards, the 3 against the Yankees,
the Bone Saws,
the 3 against the Angels, and they were 1-2 in all 3 of those series, and then they got swept by the Rangers. So they have been 1 and okay, I'm sorry, they were 2-2 against the Guards, 1-3 against the Yanks, and then 1-3 against the Angels. Or 1-2 against the Angels, and then 0-3 against the Rangers. They have a series that starts tonight against the Astros. Their pitching has to lock in. Their team ERA is, I've got to see, it's not great.
It is not great.
It is not great. I saw it at one point. Hold on. Hold on. Where is it?
I want to change my screen name to the Bronx Bone Saws real quick.
Bronx Bone Saws.
They ran into the Bronx Bone Saws.
Their team ERA is 2.73, but they've given up
pretty good.
Like, it's, I mean, when you think about it, that's, as a team ERA, that's not bad.
2.73?
But yeah, 2.73. They're allowing a lot of runs, and it's a lot of it actually from some of the numbers that I'm looking at. A lot of it seems to be from their bullpen, because there is a total of 1 hold from all of their relievers so far off of 12 games.
Yeah, the Yankees scored 10 plus runs twice in that series against them. That kind of fucks their ERA up too. But we actually feasted on their starting pitching. George Kirby was one of them that we feasted on. And Tyler, damn it, what's his name? Gilbert? Yeah, Tyler Gilbert. Logan Gilbert. Logan Gilbert, sorry, yeah. Logan Gilbert and George Kirby, we both feasted on. They had bad starts. So
and they have 2 of the highest ERAs on the team. So yeah. You are correct to a point. Like, they have had and especially for them, bad starts from Gilbert, bad starts from Kirby, and Brian Wu did not look good yesterday. He didn't have a good start.
Woohoo, 7. Woohoo. Yeah.
So definitely, I mean, just there's issues all around. Just you have one bad spot from each guy and your pitching staff over the first 12 games of the season. Like
that rotation's not nice though.
If they're all on, I think it's one of the better rotations in baseball.
They'll be all right. So to answer your question, what's happened to Seattle? Maybe nothing. We don't know. They might be fine. Julio Rodriguez is a stud. I don't know if he's like almost too.
Oh wait, was Wu today? Well, hold on, was Wu today?
It just seems like Julio strikes out a lot. It's just a weird assessment. I don't know if the numbers would follow that, but
oh wait, okay, so the series against the Astros for the Mariners that starts on Friday. Yeah, and it was Brian Wu. Well, I mean, what's crazy is he only gave up 3 runs, so that's not a lot. If you don't get any offense out of that, and that's the thing is if you look at that, their run differential's a -2. If they win that game today, they're at least at a -1 or even, depending on how far they win it by. The Mariners are going to be fine. It's just a rough start to the year.
So Julio Rodriguez went 0 for 3.
Yeah.
Cal went 0 for 4. Like, dude, they only got 2 hits. Eek. Yeah, that's rough. That is rough.
Well, but Mackenzie Gore, though, Mackenzie Gore is off to a decent start this year. His ERA is only 2.76.
Mackenzie Gore's good.
Mackenzie, yeah, he's a great pitcher. So
Okay,
I think a lot of it just comes into who they've just faced some good guys, but they've held through it a lot better than the win-loss record shows. They'll get there. Get there.
You know why they're off to a slow start, Tony? Because they ran into the Bronx bone saws. That's why.
Oh, just stop it. All right. Before we get out of here, I don't want to keep Craig up too late. Senior Dinner's calling his name. We want to thank you for tuning in to Podcast Name Deferred. The episode will be on Spotify by tomorrow morning. For those of you that are on Spotify, thank you for listening. We appreciate you. Definitely check out, make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the Podcast Name Deferred page. The Morning Minute goes up there every day along with my TikTok and the Wire page so that everybody gets a chance to see it. Would love to get your feedback on that. Just want to make sure I'm doing a good job with it. And we are a part of the Wire Network. They have shows morning and evening hosted by great individuals that love to share their experience with us. And we appreciate their support of us. So definitely make sure to support the network as well. That does support us.
Tony,
we appreciate.
After hearing the new outro, I am totally in support of the new corporate route we're going. After talking to corporate in extended periods of time, I have realized that this company is the best to go with, and we should keep going. We should keep the corporate route. Wire to Wire Sports. Right. Everybody watch. Everybody watch Wire to Wire. Wire to Wire Sports. It's for everyone.